Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Anne and today I'm bringing you my December book haul. I know I keep saying that I'm trying to create regular content, but a lot of things keep happening that I'm stressing out, so I decided during the holidays I would take it off and just reset when my partner goes back to work. So I am back here today on the 13th of January with my December book haul because my partner's back in work. So I don't know how many books I have here, but it's a lot. I didn't get any of these for Christmas. I just a lot of them were charity shop buys that were really cheap, really easy. Some of them were discounted, and I think only 2 of them I paid full price for, or my partner paid full price for. So let's just get into this video. The first category of books are books that I bought in the charity shop, which is, I found some really good finds in Whangarei. It's about an hour and a half away from here. It's a bigger town, so obviously there's a lot more popular books within that store. So I was really, really happy that we went in and I got some of these books. So the first book is Red Rising. This is by Pierce Brown. This is a sci-fi. So the Earth is dying and this guy gets sent to Mars to colonize it, and then they find out that there's more people there that already, or something like that. I'm really, really excited. I'm going to be reading this with Tiffy. I'll link her channel down below. We're going to be reading this in February, and I'm super, super excited to dig into this one because I know a lot of people absolutely love this series. The next book I want to read, the next book that I got is The Lives of Loch Mora by Scott Lynch. I heard about this book from Reagan on Peru's Project. I'll link her channel down below. She's really, really popular on Booktube, and I absolutely adore her videos. She's absolutely amazing. She loved this story. It's a heist story about Loch Mora, and I'm not really sure what else it is. It's fantasy. I know Reagan has a lot of she reads a lot of fantasy and she loves a lot of fantasy, so I'm really looking forward to reading this on her recommendation. The next book I got is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the World by Benjamin Alarsanes. I'm sorry if I butchered that, I don't know how to pronounce it. But this is about 2 guys who are Mexican, I think. It is a LGBTQIA+ rep within the story, and I'm not really sure what else it's about, but it's highly, highly hyped on Booktube, and I'm really, really excited to get into this story. The next one I got is The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak. I have a video idea that I'm looking at doing soon. It's about books that make me cry, and I know a lot of people have said that this book has made them cry, so I decided to pick it up. It's only like $2, so I decided to pick it up and give it a try and see if it makes me cry or if I'm just a cold-hearted human being. So we'll see. The next book I got is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I'm not really sure again what this is about. I think it's a historical fiction. So for me, Laura, blind since the age of 6, the world is full of mazes. A miniature of a Paris neighbourhood made by her father to teach her the way home. Microscopic layers within the invaluable diamond that her father guides in the Museum of Natural History. The walled city by the sea where father and daughter take refuge when the Nazis invade Paris. And a future which draws her ever closer to Warner, a German orphan destined to labour in the mines until a broken radio fills his life with the possibility and brings him to notice of Hitler Youth. So yeah, it's a historical fiction about World War II. Again, this is another one that I know a lot of people said made them cry, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I really enjoy historical fiction, even though I don't really read a lot of it, but I'm really, really excited to get into this one. And I was really, really happy that I saw these next 3 books in the store. So we have The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. If you don't know what The Hunger Games is, where have you been? Like The Hunger Games. If you don't know what the books are about, I don't know where you've been, but there's movies too, so you should know what The Hunger Games is about. But I'm really, really happy to have the full set so I can read them before the next one comes out in May, I think. So I'm really, really looking forward to these. So the next book that I got was Game of Thrones by George R. Martin. This is an epic high fantasy about a country at war to try and take the throne Iron Throne. This is a fantasy. It is epic. I know there's a lot of books, and it's a big boy, but I'm really looking forward to this. I got it for $1.50 when it's normally $25, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this and seeing if I like the series, and then watching the TV series, because I refused to watch it until I read the books, because that's how you do it, right? The next book that I got was The Farm by Emily McKay. This is about two sisters who are in a prison, a blood bank, a death camp where fear and paranoia rule, but it's also home of sorts. Because beyond the electric fence awaits a fate much worse. But Lily has a plan. She and Mel are going to escape into the ravaged land outside, a place of freedom and chaos and horrors. Except Lily hasn't reckoned on two things. Firstly, her sister's ability to control the horrors, and secondly, on those out there who desperately want to find and control Mel. Mel's growing power might save the world or end it completely, but only Lily can protect Mel from what is to come. The Farm takes you into a terrifying future where civilization has ended and leaves you there, fearful, gasping, and begging to escape. This is a futuristic fantasy, sci-fi, dystopian that I'm really looking forward to. It sounded really interesting, and I got it for like $1.50, so I decided to pick it up. The next book that I got was Predator's Goal by Philip Reeve. This is the second book in the Mortal Engine series. I haven't got the first one, but I got this for 50 cents, so I thought I'd just pick it up. It looked awesome, so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm not really sure what the Mortal Engine is about, but I really want to check it out. It seems like a really good series about, like, I think it's like these cities are on wheels, and there's a big war and stuff. It sounds really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next two books that I got are If I Stay and Where She Went by Gail Forman. This is a series. It's also a movie. I think it's about a girl who ends up in a car crash and she's in a coma, and it's the struggle of if she's going to come back to life or if she's going to wake up from the coma or whatever. A cold February morning, a snowy road, and suddenly all of Mia's choices are gone except one. As alone as she'll ever be, Mia must make the most difficult choice of all. Yeah. So it seems interesting. I wanted to give it a read before I check out the movie too, so they were cheap, so I picked them up. The next set of books that I got are from a library book sale. So in my library we can get like 3 books for $1, so I picked up 6 books here. And this first one is Captive Prince by C.S. Picot. It's a adult fantasy. I'm not really sure what it's about, but it seemed really interesting. So Damon is a warrior hero to his people and rightful heir to the throne of Aquilos, and when his half-brother seizes power, Damon is captured, stripped of his identity, and sent to serve the prince of an enemy nation as a pleasure slave. Beautiful, manipulative, and deadly, his new master, Prince Laurent, epitomizes the worst of the decadent court at Vere. But in the lethal web of Varetian politics, nothing is as it seems, and when Damien is caught up in a dangerous play for the throne, he is forced to form an alliance with Laurent to survive and save his country. For Damon, there is just one rule: he must never reveal his true identity, because the one man Damon needs is the one man who has more reason to hate him than anyone else. Sounds really interesting. It's adult, it's fantasy, and I thought it would be a cool read. The next one is Dead Man's Prayer by Jackie Baldwin. This is a D.I. Frank Farrell novel, so obviously it's a mystery thriller. That sounded interesting that I thought I'd pick it up. So ex-priest D.I. Frank Farrell has returned to his roots in Dumfries, only to be landed with a disturbing murder case. Even worse, Farrell knows the victim, Father Boyd, the man who forced him out of the priesthood 18 years earlier. With no leads, Farrell must delve into the old priest's past, one that is inexorably linked with his own, but his attention is diverted when a pair of twin boys go missing. The Dumfries police force recover one in an abandoned church unharmed, but where is his brother? As Farrell investigates the 2 cases, he can't help but feel targeted. Is someone playing a sinister game, or is he seeing patterns that doesn't exist? Either way, it's a game Farrell needs to win before he loses his grip on reality, or someone else turns up dead. So sounds interesting. Another murder mystery thriller that I just thought I'd pick up. The next one is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. This is another mystery thriller. I'm not really sure about this one. I know that Gillian Flynn has written Gone Girl. I haven't read that book, but I've seen this one and a lot of people said this is good too, so I thought I'd pick it up. So Libby Davis, just 7-year-old, when her evidence put her 15-year-old brother behind bars. Since then she has been drifting, but when she is contacted by a group who are convinced of Ben's innocence, Libby starts to ask questions she never dared to before. Was the voice she heard her brother's? Ben was a misfit in their small town, but was he capable of murder? Are there secrets to uncover at a family farm, or is Libby deluding herself because she wants her brother back? She begins to realise that everyone in her family had something to hide that day, especially Ben. And 24 years later, the truth is going to be even harder to find. Who did massacre the Day family? So, it sounds interesting. I thought I'd pick it up. It was cheap. 3 for $1. So, yeah. The next book I was really excited to see is The Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. So this is the second book in the Red Rising trilogy, or the first trilogy, and I'm really excited. I don't know anything about it because I don't know what happened in Red Rising. I don't want to read the synopsis just in case I spoil myself for book 1, but I'm really looking forward to this. I think Tiffy and I are going to be also buddy reading this one, so I'm really looking forward to it. The next book is The Witch of Babylon by DJ McIntosh. Again, not really sure what this one's about. It seemed really popular. So John Madison is a Turkish-American art dealer raised by his much older brother Samuel, a respected Mesopotamian scholar. Caught between Samuel's obsession with saving a priceless relic looted from Iraq's National Museum and a deadly game of revenge staged by his childhood friend, John must find the link between a modern-day witch and an ancient one. Aided by Thomas, an archaeologist, and Ari, an Iraqi photojournalist, 2 men with their own secrets, John races against time to decipher a biblical prophecy that leads to a dark history behind the science of alchemy. Is it really possible to turn lead into gold? Kidnapped by villainous fortune hunters, John returns to Iraq, where a fabulous treasure trove awaits discovery, if you can stay alive long enough to find it. This is interesting. The cover kind of drew me in. The Witch of Babylon, it sounded interesting, so I thought I would pick it up. It seems to have a lot of reviews, so I'm really looking forward to getting to this one at some stage. The next one is The Third Woman by Jonathan Freeland. This is another murder mystery, I think. So here it says 2 murders went unnoticed, the next will change everything. Again, I'm not really sure what it's about. So she can't save her sister. Journalist Madison Webb is obsessed with exposing lies and corruption, but she never thought she'd be investigating her own sister's murder. She can't trust the police. Madison refuses to accept the official line that Abigail's death was an isolated crime. She uncovers evidence that suggests Abby was the 3rd victim in a series of killings hushed up as part of a major conspiracy. She can expose the truth. In a United States that now bows before the People's Republic of China, corruption is rife. The government dictates what the truth is. With her life on the line, Madison must give up her quest for justice or face the consequences. So, a different sort of book. I'm really looking forward to this one. Hopefully I can get to it soon because it sounds really interesting, and it's just ignited my interest in it again. All of these books I really just want to read right now, so before I get ahead of myself, let's finish this video, finish the books that I'm reading, and then we'll see what I got to read. The next set of books that I have here were discounted books. So some of them were like buy one get one half price, or buy 2 for $12, or I got in a secondhand shop that still quite pricey, but again, discounted price. So the first book that I got is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is a utopian world where humans have conquered death. So you don't die. There is no dying, no sickness, no nothing like that. But these scythes, they glean people. So their job is to curb the population, make sure that there's no overpopulation and all the mishaps that happen with that. We follow Citra and Rowan, who become the apprentice to the scythe, and I think there's a lot of corruption in this. So some scythes believe that they can kill who they want when they want, and then the older kind of scythes believe that they have to do it the way the the past did it. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one. I know it's just, the series has just been finished, so I'm really, really looking forward to reading this one. The next book I got is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses in October, I think, and I really, really enjoyed it, so I wanted to continue with this series. This is the second book. So in the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses, we meet Freya, who is in the forest hunting for her family when she ends up killing a wolf who turns out to be a fairy. So for a life, she gets taken to Prythian, where she has to live with the prince and try and understand what's going on. There is a curse and everything, and I really, really enjoyed it, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I know a lot of people love this one even more than the first one. I give the first one 5 stars, so God knows what I'm going to rate this one. The next book is The Treatment by C.L. Taylor. So this is a young adult debut. I don't know when this was published. I think it was published in 2017, so it's quite old. But I've heard about this. I've seen it in the library too, so I thought I'd pick it up because it was cheap. So this is Welcome to the Academy. We're here to cure you of everything. So all 16-year-old Drew Finch wants is to be left alone. She's not interested in spending time with her mom and stepdad, and when her disruptive brother Mason is expelled from school for the 3rd time and sent to the residential reform academy, she's almost relieved. Everything changes when she's followed home from school by a mysterious Dr. Colby who claims to have a message from Mason. There's something sinister about the treatment he is undergoing. The school is changing people. Determined to help her brother, Drew must infiltrate the academy and unearth its deepest, darkest secrets before it's too late. So this sounds really, really interesting, you know. And the cover is stunning. It caught my eye straight away, and I cannot wait to read this one. The next one is a book that I've been wanting to read since I've seen the movies, since I heard about them, and I am a huge, huge horror fan, so I picked up Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. So this is the novel that created Hannibal Lecter. So Hannibal Lecter is a cannibal, if you didn't know, and this is the story of how FBI agent has to get the help from Hannibal the cannibal to catch the Red Dragon, who is a serial killer going around killing families. So it's really, really interesting. I absolutely love the movie, and I cannot wait to read this. It's so, so exciting. So I'll read the back to give you a more concise synopsis, but here we go. Sexual hunger, demonic violence, sinister logic, the lethal components of a deadly formula driving a psychopath in the grip of an unimaginable delusion. He's a boastful killer who sends the police tormenting notes, a torturing monster who finds ultimate pleasure in viciously murdering happy families, and he calls himself the Red Dragon. So I absolutely love these movies. I love the series Hannibal too. It's really, really interesting, and if you can't tell, I love all the kind of murderous, horror-y kind of things, which probably isn't normal, but oh well. So this I'm really, really looking forward to. And the last book that I got in a secondhand shop is Lair of Dreams. This is the second book in the Definers series. I picked it up, it was like $12, so it's really, really cheap. I'm really, really looking forward to reading this one. The Definers is about Evie O'Neill, who is living in the 1920s, and she gets in trouble in her hometown for spilling some secrets about a man who she shouldn't know those secrets. So she gets sent to New York to live with her uncle, who is obsessed with the occult, and he is trying to figure out these murders that are happening. And the thing about this is that Evie has a secret that she's trying to keep hidden. When she touches the possessions of people, she can see their memories and see things that happen in their past that she shouldn't know. And we followed that, and I'm not really sure what the Lair of Dreams is about. I think it's about dreamwalkers or something like that, so it's going to be really, really interesting. I'm really looking forward to reading The Diviners and The Lair of Dreams in this year. And the last 2 books that I want to talk about, these are the books that I paid full price for, so $18 for both, $18 each for the both of them. So the next one is A Court of Wings and Broom by Sarah J Maas. This is the third book in the ACOTAR series. So again, I don't really know much about this one, but I spoke about Court of Thorns and Roses just before. So obviously we're going to be continuing to follow Freya and see what happens with this story. And the last book that I picked up is The Crow Prince by Holly Black. So again, this is a series that has just finished in 2019. It's been raved about. Everyone seems to absolutely love it. This is about Jude, This is about Jude, whose family is murdered, and her sisters and her are taken to the land of Fairy, where they are raised by the man who killed their parents. Jude is grown up and she is sick of being treated like a weak human and decides that she wants to become a guard or an assassin or something for the king. And obviously there's a crow prince within this, and it's an enemies to lovers thing. I'm not sure, but I'm really looking forward to reading this. So Leah Raduga says, lush, dangerous, dark jewel of a book. If you're on Booktube or in the bookish community, you should know about The Crow Prince because it's been severely hyped, and The Queen of Nothing just came out, so everyone and their mother has heard of this book. So that is all the books that I got in December. I know it's a lot. I don't even know how many that was, but it was a lot. And again, I didn't really pay that much for a lot of those books, so I'm really happy with that. I love my reading. I'm definitely picking up some different books that I wouldn't normally read, and some books that I really want to read, and books that I've heard about since I started Booktube back in July. So I'm really looking forward to reading those books and getting to them in this year. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and comment down below if you want to read any of these books with me, buddy read, whatever. Anyone who I mentioned in this video will be linked in the description, so you can check out those channels too. So bye guys.